Hey YouTube, it's me, Proto Genius, back with another fun paper airplane tutorial. Today we're going to be making a Jas-39 Gripen. It's a Swedish airplane, and this is actually a really cool airplane. I really like this one. It gets a lot of attention, and it flies. So let's get going. So first off, we're going to take a regular sheet of copy paper. This is 8.5 inches by 11 inches longwise. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to take this piece of paper, we're going to fold it in half longwise. Then we're going to open this up. We're going to take that and we're going to fold it straight across from this corner and then make it into, we're going to make our X shape like we've done in the past with a lot of my other paper airplanes. I'm going to open that up. I'm going to take that and fold it again. Right up into the corner. Straight back down. Perfect. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take this and we're going to fold it into a house shape. Just like this. Alright, so now we have our house shape. And what we're going to do from this point is a little bit different from the way I do my normal paper airplanes. What we're going to do now is we're going to actually take this and fold it up like that. So everything's kind of in the middle. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take and we're going to make a fold from this point right here to this point right here. And we're just going to kind of fold that over. So okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to flip that over and do a mirror fold on the other side. And now, what we're going to do at that point is we're going to make a fold that's 1.5 inches from this point right here, kind of the midpoint. We're going to make it 1.5 inches up from the bottom. You can mark it with a pen if you need to. I'm going to during this tutorial just so that it's easier for some of the people out there that are trying to figure this out. So 1.5 inches. Okay, we're going to fold that right there. Or sorry, it's going to be right here. On this part right here. And we're going to fold it from that point up to here. It folds all the way up into that point right there. Alright, now we're going to flip that over. Do the same thing from this point right here on this piece of paper, that line. And we're going to do a mirror fold on there. Just like that. Perfect. Alright, now what we're going to do is we're going to take back from this point right here, right there, and we're going to come back 1/2 inch, and I'm going to mark it. Once you get used to making these, you won't need to mark everything. It's just for explanation wise. So we're going to go from the very point up to that line which we just made. Perfect. Now what we're going to do is we're going to flip that over and do the exact same thing on the other side. Let's mirror fold it. So right to that point right there, and we're going to go right here up to 1/2 inch on the back of the wing. Okay, perfect. Now what we're going to do is we're actually going to do it's going to be a 3-dimensional fold that we're going to do right now. We're going to come up from the tip of the airplane right here in this area, right here. We're going to come up 1.5 inches from the tip. I'm going to put a mark right here at 1.5 inches right there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take and we're going to open up the airplane, just like this. You can see this point right here. We're going to come back 3/4 of an inch from that, and we're going to mark that right there, 3/4 of an inch. Now what we're going to do is we're going to make a fold mark from there to where we've marked over here on this side. Right there. We're going to make a fold straight across right there. You're going to fold this up. You're going to put your thumb right there and crease that right there. And you're going to fold that right to that point. Perfect. Alright, now what we're going to do, so you can see there's a bowl shape now in the airplane right there. There's a 3-dimensional fold, like I said. Don't try and flatten that out, you will rip things. If I push down on it, it's going to make it pop open. So what you're going to do now is we're actually going to take this airplane, we're going to open it up a little bit, and we're going to make that bowl shape point downwards. Now if you see that right there, it's pointed downwards. And what we're going to do is we're going to take them, we're going to look at it from the front. We're actually going to do a mirror fold right here in this area. We're going to get the same area right there, so that it does the exact same thing. They both match up at that point right there that we made. And then we're just going to lay that flat on the table, crease it flat. Very good. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to make a mark from this point right here, where this matches up right here. We're going to come back to 3/4 of an inch, and we're going to make a mark there. 3/4 right there. Now I'm not measuring this out because I've made enough of these. I kind of have a good idea of where I need to put it. So what we're going to do now is we're actually going to take and we're going to open up the plane and push that bowl back to where it pushes to where the wing makes it go upwards. And we're going to fold from that midpoint right there to that point right there that we just made. And so you're going to kind of just crease in that crease right there, just like that. Right to our midpoint. You can see it matches up perfectly underneath. Just like that. Okay, now what we're going to do, I know it looks kind of crazy. I'm going to zoom out just a little for you guys. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take that right there. We're going to make it match up on the other side. So you can see this is our 3-dimensional fold still. It's kind of sticking up. We're going to take and we're going to push down the wing right here, and we're going to make a mirror fold to make it match up with the fold underneath it. Right there. And then you're just going to crease it into that point right there. And now it should be able to sit flat. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to take from this point right here. I don't know if you guys can see that with how dark it is in here. Take from this point right here, and you're going to measure up to 3/8 of an inch right here. Right there. 3/8 of an inch. And what you're going to do from that point is you're going to fold from that point to the tip of the tail right here. Put that straight over, just like that. Straight over, crease that to the back. Okay, now mirror fold that. Flip it over. Mirror fold. Just like that. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to take and we're going to go back 3/4 of an inch from that fold we just made. Again, make our mark right there. And we're going to fold that to the point right here where there's a spot where the two papers actually match up right there. You can see under my finger right there in the middle. You're going to fold right to that point and make a line straight across right there. Now what we're doing right now is we're actually making the wing so that it sits square. If you want, you can make it go 3/4 of an inch. You can make it go all the way down to the bottom of that part right there if you need to. I'm actually gonna go more down towards the bottom area of it on that. So take that, flip that over, do the exact same thing on the other side. Let's mirror fold that, just like that. Okay, now that part is actually done on the bottom. So now what we're going to do is we're going to fold the wings down and out of the way, just like that. And we're going to start working on the top wing now. So we're going to take the airplane and open it up, and we're going to make a fold from the center. We're going to fold right into the middle here. We're going to put that tip of the wing right up against the tip of the airplane, right there, just like that. And we're going to do that on both sides, just like that. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to take and we're going to fold this in half again from this point right here to the middle right there. So it's just creased like that. I do that on both sides. Alright, now what we're going to do is we're going to take that airplane, we're going to make it flat, and we're going to take and we're going to use this line right here, and we're going to fold the top, or the top piece over along that line as our guide. It's kind of a locking fold we're doing right now. Just folding that straight over, just like that. See? And we're going to flip it over and do the exact same thing on the other side. Just like that. Very good. Alright. Okay, now what we're going to do is in the center here, we're going to come here and we're going to open up this area right here, and we're going to come back from this point 1/4 of an inch right here. And you can mark it if you need to. And we're going to make a fold. We're going to kind of open this up and crease that down and do that 1/4 of an inch mark right there, all the way up to this point right here where it meets up with the main body of the airplane. So we're going to flatten that out. And if you can't see it real well on this one, you'll see it on the next one. So we did that part right there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to open up this part on the other side and do the exact same thing. Make sure that it matches up on both sides with this right here. Now this is if you don't get these just right on there, if you're sloppy with it, you'll be amazed at how far off the wings will be from each other. Just like that, if you can see that. Okay, just make it go right up to that fold mark right there where it meets up with it. Okay, now we're going to flatten that out again, the airplane. Now you can see this little zigzag right here it's making. You're actually going to get your finger in this spot right here. And what you're going to do is on the open side of the airplane, where there's actually there's a fold right here, and then you could actually stick your finger inside of that if you wanted. But we're not going to do that right now. I'm just looking at that side. What you're going to do is you're going to come down 1/4 of an inch, or a 1/2 of an inch from this tip right here back. You're going to make a mark there at 1/2 an inch. And you're going to fold from that mark to the center point right here. Just kind of get your thumb in there and flatten it out to where you can make it to that point right there that we've already designated at our 1/2 an inch mark, just like that. Now I flattened that out right there, and then right here at this point there should be like 1/4 of an inch right there on the top of the, or at this part right here. Now you're going to flip it over and do the exact same thing on the other side. Just kind of make sure that they lay down on top of each other like they're supposed to. The two wings, they're in the right spot. Otherwise, it could be off and it'll make the wings look weird. And so, okay, so we got our two front area there. Now we're going to make our fold from this point. We're going to come back 1.5 inches, like we did on the first fold underneath, We're going to fold that right there. And then what we're going to do on the bottom part of it is we're actually going to come, if you see right here, sorry about that, there's the part where these two folds match up in the middle right there. You're going to come onto this fold right here, and you're going to go up 1/4 of an inch right there. And you're going to fold from that point, and you're going to go straight across to that line right there, or that fold that we made at 1.5 inches back. And just fold it straight across, up and over, right there. So get your finger in there, crease that back to that point, just like that. Now it should be fairly parallel with these. If it's not parallel, it's actually not supposed to be really parallel. It's supposed to be a little bit acute that direction. Now it can be parallel though. It just looks better if it's the cockpit's a little bit fatter on the back end of it compared to the front end of the airplane. Now we're just going to mirror fold that straight over, just like we did on the front, on the other side. Just like that. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're actually going to look inside of this, because this is an important part here. We're going to make a fold. We're going to come back from this point right here where these two meet up right there. We're going to come back 1 inch. And if you want to mark it, I'd mark it on the inside. Come back 1 inch from that point. Right there. And we're going to make a line from that point, and we're going to open it up, and we're going to do a fold at 1/4 of an inch right here. That's our inner line right there. So we're going to make a fold straight across from this point to that point, and we're going to fold it inside, just like this, right there. Alright, now this is just for looks on this part, but it's going to be kind of a harder fold on this top piece right here because it's kind of thick stuff right there. But don't worry if it's a little hard to fold there. It's supposed to be. You can even put it on the ground and step on it if you need to get it to fold all the way. And so you just mirror fold that on the other side. Matches up right there. There we go. It matches up now. We mirror folded that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to fold up our bottom wing again, and we're going to go up from this point right here. We're going to go up, and we're going to make one more fold right here at 1/2 of an inch from this point right here up at 1/2 of an inch right there. And we're going to take and we're going to fold from there to this back fold right there, and we're going to fold that over this direction. So I'm just going to get your thumb there, fold it straight across, just like that. I'll do a mirror fold on the back side of that. Oh, now what we're going to do is make the top wing parallel with this fold right here. Let's fold it up right there, flip it over, do the same thing on the other side. Make sure the wings still match up with each other. And now that our wings are folded up, there's actually that line that we originally made there earlier on when we were folding the wing, and you're just going to kind of fold that back on that. So it's kind of got a little zigzag going on there on the back of that front wing. That gives us the right angle that we need. And then we're going to flip the bottom of the airplane, the back wings out, and we are done with our Jas-39 Gripen. Now, this airplane does fly. It takes a little bit of adjustment, just like a lot of the airplanes that I make, just because obviously it's got a lot of different wing area that would affect it one way or another. But yeah, it's a pretty cool airplane. People are shocked when they see someone make one like this. So yeah, go out and have fun with it, and feel free to comment, thumbs up, and subscribe on my YouTube channel. I'm always working on new airplanes and stuff. Feel free to check out my F-22 Raptor tutorial. It should be out by now. And yeah, I look forward to teaching you some more great paper airplanes.